why aren't you using ChatGPT? No, seriously. It finally came to a point that you can and should pretty much use it instead of searching the internet yourself manually. I've seen so many people around me try it when it came out in 2022, use it wrong, get bad or outright wrong answers, and drop this amazing technology for good. But ChatGPT saves me so much time and money each day, and I don't even remember the last time I Googled something. So let me show you some of the ways I effectively use it on simple everyday tasks or on even complex software engineering tasks. Let's go. So for example, let's say you get home after a really long workday, all exhausted, and you just don't seem to have anything to eat. You know those times where your fridge seems both full and empty at the same time, where you only have ingredients and not actual food? You can go onto ChatGPT and say, hey, I got eggs, bread, ketchup, and a few sausages in my fridge. What can I make quick from these ingredients? And it will give you instructions on how and what to do in order to make a quick after work meal. And if you don't like something about this meal, like you don't have the specific kitchen utensils, you can say, I don't have a frying pan right now. What else can I make? Or I don't like fried eggs. Recommend me something different. And just like that, it gives you something that you can both make quick and enjoy the way how you like it. But ChatGPT isn't just for meal ideas. Let's talk about gifts, especially when you've got no idea what to get someone. We all know how difficult it can be thinking of original gifts that aren't boring or just straight up laid out. Holidays are coming up right now and you don't have any gifts for your family? No problem, GPT has got you covered. You can say, what can I buy for Christmas for my partner? She likes cooking and drawing. And as you can see, it will give you these amazing recommendations that will probably take you much longer to search on the internet yourself, or even worse, coming up with them yourself, because it's kind of difficult to come up with gift ideas. And if you want something else, you can be a little more specific and say, my girlfriend especially likes drawing on canvases, and this will give you even more things that you can gift. You can even ask for the prices of these gifts without even Googling yourself. Now, what if you want to learn a new skill? Learning new skills is always hard at first, but it doesn't have to be. Let's say you've always wanted to learn how to play the piano, but you just couldn't figure out how to approach this. You can ask ChatGPT, and it will outline you the beginner steps, the resources you can look into, and some practice routines that will help you learn. And if you're unsure of a certain step or a certain practice routine, you can just always ask like, hey, what do you mean by this thing? And it will go into even more detail about that specific step. Don't be afraid of asking ChatGPT and then following up and asking for more details. Chat with it like you would with an actual person, because it's made to be that way. And if you don't get the answer that you're looking for at first, don't run off just yet. Try to be more specific and it will show you what you want, I promise you. And you just have to keep learning how to use it. It's just like the internet. At first you probably didn't know how to use the internet as well, but now look at you, probably have a 10-hour daily screen time on the internet. So if you just learn how to use ChatGPT or any other AI chatbot, you can be ahead of most people, because as I said earlier, not that many people use it daily, but they should. Another big thing that ChatGPT can do is tech support. I was recently having some issues setting up an old Wi-Fi router for my parents, and I just could not figure it out. But I tried asking GPT. I was thinking, no way that it can actually solve this issue, because the Wi-Fi router was just this old. It was about 10 to 15 years old, and I couldn't even find any information online about it. But to my surprise, it gave me a straightforward answer and in basically seconds. Whereas before I was searching on the web for way too long and I couldn't even find anything. So if I had only searched the internet myself, it would have probably taken me hours. And that is not it. It can help you with even more complex tech issues that you might not know how to fix yourself. I have another personal story here. So not too long ago I bought a used computer and everything seemed good at first, but then out of nowhere it started getting black screens where my PC screen would turn off each time I tried to play a video game. So before ChatGPT, I used to go on Reddit and explain my issues there, and maybe after a few hours I might get a response, and that may or may not help me, or maybe I will not even get a response and my post will just get ignored. But now I just explain my issue in detail to ChatGPT and I get the results instantly pretty much. Then I try each of these things that ChatGPT recommends, and if none of them help me, I ask it for even more things and I get my problems fixed. And if you want to see full story of this PC, I have a link in the description. And now let's move on to planning birthday parties. Let's say you're planning your birthday party, but each year you and your friends are all basically doing the same things for your birthdays and you want to make your birthday stand out. You can ask ChatGPT, what are some fun activities that I can plan for my 25th birthday that I'm hosting at my house? Make sure to include your age in this request because, as we all know, birthday games and activities vary in different age groups, and you can even include in the request that there might be older or younger relatives of yours in the birthday too, so that it can give you some other things that work in a wider crowd. Are you a curious person? Do you like finding out about random things? You can always ask. I was really curious about the US presidential elections and I wanted to know why are they always held on Tuesdays. And as it turns out, there's a big historical reason for this, including farmers and going to church, and which is really interesting to me. And ask ChatGPT about pretty much anything and just find out just random fun facts that you can get basic knowledge from. As some of you may know, I study software engineering, and my studies include some really complex concepts that we have to understand and use in our work. But sometimes it's just not easy, and understanding these things can be really difficult for some people. And so what I do is I ask ChatGPT to explain to me and in easy to understand terms. So for example, explain to me in understandable terms what are complex sorting algorithms and what do they do in detail. And now I have something else to reference besides my professor's PDF, which, let's be real, sometimes are not even that useful. Now let's speed up your work. Let's say for work you need to read a bunch of articles and summarize them or extract key information from them, which can take a really long time and be quite boring depending on the article. But what you can do here is copy the whole article and paste it into ChatGPT, then click Shift and Enter so that you make a new line. And at the bottom here, you can say, hey, summarize this article and give me some key takeaways. And just like that, you saved yourself some time. But be careful, always look over these outputs just to make sure that they are correct. Don't just blindly copy. And as always, don't 100% trust these AI models because they can sometimes make mistakes just like us humans do. They are trained on human-made websites, so there are bound to be some mistakes sometimes, but I promise you, you will save so much time using this. So whether you need a quick dinner recipe, a unique birthday gift idea, or tech support, ChatGPT can be your go-to assistant. Trust me, once you start using it daily, you won't look back. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more content just like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.